oh my goodness, Joe Biden has had, let's just say, a rough August, okay? The month of August has been like perhaps the worst month of any president in presidential history. I mean, you gotta notch it up there. Joe Biden is suffering through the most catastrophic fall in his polling. It looks like the 1929 stock market crash here for Joe Biden. I'm going to show you an image that should horrify. If you're a Democrat watching this, if you're a Joe Biden supporter watching this, you're going to have to tell me, because I still have to yet meet anyone who actually did support Joe Biden, like in real life. But you're going to have to like show me that you're sitting down, because I don't want to scare you. You're going to faint when you see what I'm about to show you. I'm about to show you an image from Real Clear Politics. We're going to go through the data. We're going to talk about what the image is, but what the image is it's an aggregate. It's an aggregate of all the Joe Biden's presidential job approval rating throughout his entire term. So what have people thought about Joe Biden throughout his entire term? Do they approve or do they disapprove of what Joe Biden is doing? Now, this is an aggregate, so that's what's so interesting about Real Clear Politics. Is it is, there are some polls that certainly do skew to the right. There are a lot of polls that skew to the left. This bunches them all together. You could argue that this still skews to the left, because there are so many polling companies that really are designed only to poll metropolitan liberals. And so you always have sort of hate to use this word, but a systemic, truly like a systemic inside the gears issue with polling. And that's why it's often so wrong. Pollsters were wrong in 2020. Pollsters were egregiously wrong in 2016, always undervaluing how well performing Republicans will be and freedom candidates. And so here, take this with the understanding that this is most likely, this poll, and let's see, how many polls did they aggregate? There are dozens, right? So this is dozens of polls from news sites and colleges and universities, all pushed together to give you this. Okay, so here's the start of Joe Biden's presidency. Okay, and you start to really collapse. Okay, like the disapproval number is the red, the approval number is the black, disapproval number is the red. And then you start the disapproval number starts inching up, right? And you get over here, you get into the summer months, and then you really start getting a rocky road up here with his approval ratings, right? Remember, this is a liberal, this is probably skewing liberal, +5 skews liberal. It's the aggregate though of all polls, aggregate of dozens of polls, and then suddenly something horrific happens. That's where we are today. That's where we are this very moment. We have Joe Biden utterly underwater, complete and total disaster, abject and total collapse. Look at that. You want to know why they call him the Titanic in the White House? You want to know why Kamala Harris, according to sources, according to reporting, Kamala Harris's team calls Joe Biden the Titanic? That's why. Look at this. No lifeboats coming to save this iceberg. No freaking way. This is the Titanic. Look at that. Holy crap. Why is the White House trying to so egregiously switch up the narrative from what they had done in August, from what they're doing? That's why. Holy moly. Guys, 50%, nearly 50%, 49.6 disapprove. 50% statistically disapprove of Joe Biden. 45% approve. Absolute catastrophe, calamity, underwater. Wow. Okay, I was wrong. It looks like this is an aggregate of hundreds of actual polls. Look. So this is the Real Clear Politics site. The Real Clear Politics site says that this is the aggregate. They have a list here of tons of polls. It's got to be close to 100. But here we have, wow. Here we have just just Joe Biden getting brutalized. Getting brutalized. This is the kind of stuff that scares the living crap out of people. Now, I've done work in politics for 20 years. I was, you say, Benny, you're 35. How's that possible? Well, at 15, I was starting my Young Republicans Club at my high school in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. So I've done political work for 20 years. I've worked almost every single job there is to work inside of politics. I do indeed know how to read these things. And I got to tell you, reading a poll collapse like this is like sending people running in Biden's White House with their hair on fire. Their hair on fire. It is it's like the sirens that go off before a city gets bombed, right? It's like the warning sirens before the tornado hits and wipes out your trailer park. It's really, really, really bad. And the calls are literally coming from inside the house. I'm going to read to you here from Fox News, which is going to cite a Politico article. The White House officials, we talked yesterday about how the intelligence community and the Defense Department the Defense Department and the intelligence community are turning on Joe Biden. Now we have here reports that the White House, Joe Biden's own White House, is turning on him. Here, listen to this. White House official appalled and literally horrified that Biden stranded Americans in Afghanistan, according to a report. I read to you from foxnews.com. White House officials said that they are appalled and literally horrified that President Biden left Americans stranded in Afghanistan. A new report reveals the administration official told Politico that they were stunned by the president's decision to leave Americans behind as Taliban solidifies their power in the country and reportedly engages in door-to-door executions. I am absolutely appalled and literally horrified that we left Americans there, the official said. It was a hostage rescue of thousands of Americans in the guise of a non-combatant evacuation operation. And we have failed on that no-fail mission. Incredible. Another administration official told Politico that they didn't consider the mission to be accomplished if Americans were abandoned in Afghanistan. These are Biden's own White House leaking on him. This is Biden's own White House staff leaking on him. It's one thing to have the intelligence community, which is its own corrupt organ, right? Its own universe, right? Like operationally, to have them leak on Biden. It's a different thing to have the Pentagon leak on Biden, right? So the Pentagon is, again, its own. Have you ever been in the Pentagon? It's like its own city, right? It's like the Death Star. Like it's its own universe, right? Its own organs leaking on Joe Biden. It's a completely different thing to have Joe Biden's White House leaking on Joe Biden. These people are presumably, according to Politico, these are high-ranking administration officials. That's what they say that they are. These are administration officials involved in national security. That's what they say that these people are. These are presumably Joe Biden's friends, the people who are helping him day in and day out. They are leaking to the press. They are going to Politico to say that they are, and I quote, appalled and literally horrified of Joe Biden and his decisions. That is why you see the collapse that you see in the polls. Once again, putting this up on screen, that is why you see that. That's where that comes from. That is the collapse right there. That is the Titanic right there. Whew, this morning the job numbers are really bad. We'll probably hop back on and talk a little more about them later. But boy, these instant reactions are really, really bad. You want to know why Joe Biden keeps walking away from questions on Afghanistan? The polling, that's why. So right now we have 9.1% unemployment rate for black men, 7.9% unemployment rate for black women, 17.9% unemployment rate for black youth. There you go. Black unemployment increased to nearly 9% in August. That is the Joe Biden, Kamala Harris economy, right? Let's just listen to some of the sycophants on MSNBC talk about how bad these numbers are for Joe Biden.
Jobs report is out, and it is a lot worse than we thought. The U.S. economy adding just 235,000 jobs in August, with the unemployment rate now at 5.2%. That is a lot lower than the 720,000 jobs we expected. It follows several months of gains, and now we have clarity on the Delta variant's impact as we try to get back to normal. But what we are in is that I don't know economy. And with delayed returns to work and school and inflation hurting our recovery, where we go from here is still a big question mark.
Okay, that was Stephanie Ruhle on MSNBC saying the August jobs report is out and it is a lot worse than we thought. A miss of almost 500,000 jobs. It's just utterly egregious. 235,000 jobs created in August. Fox Business, Connell McShane says this is a disappointing report.
In that sector.
Yeah, it's concerning, Connell. The bottom line, no matter.
At that point, leisure and hospitality, the preview of the culprit, no denying this is a disappointing jobs report. And again, to go back to that point, leisure and hospitality, the previous couple of months, we were like 400,000 a month. This month, zero in that sector.
Yeah, it's concerning, Connell. The bottom line, no matter how you look at it, is that the economy is slowing, and we have to figure out why that is.
I wonder why that is. Could it be communism? Could it be Joe Biden? Could it be incredible inflation? Listen to this, CNN. August job numbers are a huge disappointment.
Before that, he is expected to speak about the latest jobs report, which was a huge disappointment, frankly, a huge surprise. The economy added just 235,000 jobs.
CNN.
That missed
This is
projections
CNN.
by 500,000. Let's begin with Christine Romans. Christine, projection estimates had this above 700,000.
Wow. Just wow. And let's just go back. Let's just go really quick back to MSNBC. Really good. Stephanie Ruhle again. August jobs numbers show a huge slowdown, absolutely not seeing what we thought.
Stephanie Ruhle, Steph, help me out with this number. 235,000 jobs added versus a projection of 720,000. What happened?
And coming after July, when we had over 900,000, huge slowdown, Willie. Yes, we are still in an economic recovery, but for those who thought we are booming, we are racing, we're absolutely not seeing what we thought we were going to see. We are seeing wages go up a smidge. That's positive news. And economists, I'm telling you, they are going to be writing PhD papers about this for years over the fact that there are millions of open jobs in this country. Yes, many of them are lower wage jobs, trucking jobs, service jobs, hospitality jobs.
Their jobs. And also, by the way, real wages, actual wages have declined because of rising prices. Because of inflation. Some of these headlines, man. CNN Business, major jobs disappointment. America added only 235,000 jobs in August. CNBC, jobs report disappoints, only 235,000 positions added versus the expectations of 720K. U.S. added 235,000 jobs in August, a massive slowdown. Town Hall, big miss, weak August jobs report, terrible news for the economy. Well, America, listen, I think it's pretty clear what is happening here. It's pretty obvious what this is all about. This is about what it's always been about. It has always been about America last for these people. Do not elect people who hate your country. Do not elect people who hate you. Stop putting people in office who do not love this country. I am old enough, meaning I am more than 4 years old, to remember how Donald Trump legitimately, remember Barack Obama saying, there's no magic wand. There's no magic wand that you can wave and fix the economy. Well, Mr. Wand came into the White House and he was orange. There was an orange wand called Trumpism economic policy, and it was roaring. I remember those days. Boy, oh boy, here we go. America is back to the Obama years. Get ready. All right, guys, we will be live later. We will be live later today. I know that was a lot of content. We will be live later today with some more updates. We have obviously the biggest story right now, the absolutely like blatant and egregious and destructive jobs report the corrosion at the core of our country. It's very easy. Kick the bums out. All right? See you guys later today. Thanks for joining me.